Trustee Anselmo.
Here.
Trustee Berger.
Here.
Trustee Zalick.
Here.
Trustee Gieser.
Here.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Here.
Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Severino.
Here. Please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There a motion to approve the minutes of our May 1st, 2023 Village Board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee McCarthy, seconded by Trustee Anselmo. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Under Listening Pulse, we have several things here today. We have resolution number 3307 honoring Phil Modoff on his retirement from the Village of Carroll Stream. This is resolution number 3307. Whereas Phil Modoff was hired as Director of Public Works on July 1st, 2010, and whereas Phil Modoff has been a strong advocate for the village's interests in the county, region, and state, and whereas Phil Modoff has had primary responsibility for managing the village's water supply, wastewater treatment, storm sewers, and snow removal operations, improving the quality of life of all residents and businesses through a sound road, water, sanitary, and stormwater system. And whereas Phil Modoff has been an advocate for energy conservation through the conversion of all village-owned streetlights to energy-efficient LED environmental conservation through the attainment of the village's Salt Smart Community Award, implemented of anti-idling policies and designation as the village's first Tree City USA recipient. And whereas Phil Modoff leadership, the village has contributed to residents' tax savings and an attainment of energy conservation grants and reduction of roadway salts. And whereas Phil Modoff is recognized as a leader externally in matters such as water and stormwater management and environmental conservation regulations, and internally on a host of initiatives and programs. And whereas Phil Modoff possesses a unique ability to explain technical matters to elected officials, co-workers, and residents, has performed outreach to youth groups in the community to educate them on the workings of public works, and routinely demonstrates concerns and empathy for residents in the community. And whereas Phil Modoff has been employed as a public servant for 36 years and has made the decision to retire with the Village of Carroll Stream. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream, on behalf of all the former and current elected and appointed officials, employees, and residents of Carroll Stream, as follows. Under Section 1, the services and dedication displayed by Phil Modoff to the Village of Carroll Stream and his accomplishments in the field of public works and public administration are hereby recognized and commended. Under Section 2, Phil Modoff is wished the very best of happiness and health in his retirement. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage approved by law, passed and approved on this 15th day of May 2023. Congratulations, Phil, on your...
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 3307.
Second.
trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Geezer. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. Now it's official.
If it wasn't official, you can't leave. Make it official.
That's right.
I'm voting no.
And then you're gonna have to come up here because this is one nice.
Oh, my gosh. Well, thank you very much. I'll do my best to speak to both halves of the room here. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the people that helped me get to this point in my career. Starting out as an intern in the village of Western Springs under a legend in Illinois city management, Paul Nicholson. And then going to Lombard, actually hired by then Assistant Manager Joe Breinig in 1988 for my first big boy job in local government. Moving to Willowbrook, again, another legend in city management in Illinois, Bernie Oglietti. Village of Woodridge under John Perry, just an incredible mentor. Here again under Joe Breinig. And then the last few years working with Bob Miller. I've learned a great deal from them. All of them modeled what is a theme for me, which is that we are public servants. We serve the public. They send us their money and ask us to do things that they can't do for themselves. Public safety and delivery of clean water and treatment of the water after you're done using it. And keeping the roads safe. All of these things, they entrust their money to us and their safety and ask us to do these things. And all of those people modeled that for me all the way up through Bob. Another thing I need to acknowledge is the people I work with now. It's truly an outstanding group. A management team that is equally committed to and embraces the concept of the fact that we are public servants, or servants to the public. Sometimes that means we have to say no to certain things, but that's in carrying out the policies of this village board. So I'm deeply grateful for this group that we have now. Every single member of the management team embraces the concept of public service, and we have a great group of line employees who do the same. It's important that I mention that the work that they do is not only life-sustaining, but is also dangerous. Think about, if you will, a day without clean water. We provide over 1 billion gallons of clean drinking water every year. And then through our treatment plant, discharge 3, 4, 5 million gallons every single day into a creek. And people depend on those services that are indeed life-sustaining. One day without water, one day without sewer would be a very, very bad day. And in the course of delivering those services, they encounter very dangerous situations. Testified to that fact by the loss of a very young water employee at the village of Westmont just a couple of months ago in the course of his duties, a 23-year-old life lost, doing the work that we do every single day. So they embrace the idea that we're public servants, and they embrace the idea that they have to work safely because our work is very dangerous. Finally, I want to talk about the things that got me out of bed every morning. I put some thought into this, and really there's 3 things. One, again, is this idea that we are public servants. People depend on us for services. And that was something that got me out of bed each morning because I found it very rewarding. The other thing is that in the delivery of those services, we have to work safely. Every single day presented a challenge to keeping people safe who were doing this work. and I impressed, hopefully, on every employee, that every job you start on every day, you have to think about the dangers. What could present injury or fatality to you as an employee, especially on the routine things. Jason Pauling's got a sign in his office that I really admire. It says, "Everybody goes home." And that doesn't just happen. It happens because we pay attention. And we get the support to our village manager, through the board, to train and train and train and buy the stuff we need to stay safe, to deliver the services as public servants. The last thing of the three is I always wanted to make sure that my family could be proud of me. From my parents to my wife and kids who are here today, that they saw me model what my parents modeled for me: hard work, ethical work, honest work, and service. So I think I met those on most days. Every now and then there was a blip here or there. But I'm really happy to see people here who I work with. Part of the Jacobs team is here. Some of you know, we partner with Jacobs to run our sewage treatment plant. It's a very unique arrangement. They've been doing it for 25 years. They're outstanding partners with the community, picking up trash along creeks, planting little wildflower gardens. Sue started with a little one about the size of a manhole, and now the whole place just looks beautiful. And really supporting the fireworks last year and again this year. Really a very unique partnership, and one the village can and should be very proud of. I'm also happy to see some of my fellow management team members here today. It means a great deal to me that you would come here tonight. So with that, I'll just say thank you. It's been my privilege and my honor. Thank you.
Congratulations.
So we have somebody from Jacobs Engineering here. We almost missed it. I'm looking, I didn't see any paperwork. It's still in the basket in the back. That's where the attorney comes in, see?
We appreciate the time.
Now I'm sorry we asked, because we got a whole pile of them.
Well, when the guys from the treatment plant come with a sack of something that I can't see where it is.
Solids for your gardens. We wanted to make sure you didn't forget us. So. Yeah, we just wanted to say a couple words of appreciation. You know, I'm sitting back there getting teary-eyed by Bill's speech, and it speaks to the relationships that he's built. You know, I don't think I have to say much. Right? You can look around you and you can see everything that he's done, but again, he's built relationships with all of us. We've got everybody from the plant here because we appreciate working with him so much. Me personally, you know, I've told him this a dozen times. I don't think he knows what it means to me, but I was presented to him as a project manager at the age of like 30 years old. And I can imagine being at the other side of that table and just being like, yeah, I don't think so. A little too young for this guy, but thanks, coming back a couple years. But no, he worked with me, he didn't act like a, you know, he could have been just the client, right? Be demanding, treat us like a contractor, he uses the word partnership all the time. Treated me like a partner, treated me like a son at times. Taught me, helped me grow, and I could never express my appreciation enough for that. So on behalf of myself, thank you. And on behalf of the entire Jacobs team, like I said, most of them who've worked with you in the last couple of years are here. But this was painted actually by a ex-Jacobs employee who donated his time because of his appreciation for Phil. And there's many more that are still in the company that speak highly of Phil all the time. Kevin's here, got to work with Phil for longer than I have. And we're all just, again, thankful for the amount of time we've got to spend with Phil, for how much he's done to grow our partnership and all the good work that we got to do through Phil and through all of you, of course. Not diminishing the value that you all bring, but today's about Phil. So again, just here to say thank you. Did you want to say anything before I?
Yeah, just a couple things. So Phil, I think you hit those three things that you talked about: the public safety, the family, and the ethics. Appreciate your professionalism and your leadership over the years. So from Kevin Dahl, by the way, I'm the regional manager for Jacobs. So just want to be here for you and express my gratitude for your partnership over the years, and congratulations. Goes great with the suit.
A couple of boots walking away and a fish on the other side. Very nice.
Now you have to put it on for a picture.
Have we got a picture?
I've got the answer. I have a large head, but.
Beautiful. It's awesome. Very nice.
Can we have a resolution that he has to put down for the rest of the meeting?
That's cute.
The rest of his employment.
In order to get
Well, before we go any further, I want to say thank you, Phil. I knew you had a lot of different jobs through the year that you put all those years in, but I want to thank you for bringing all that experience to Carroll Stream, because I honestly, when you were brought in, thought we had a really good public works department, and I got to tell you, we had good people, but a lot of bad equipment and a lot of bad things. And I want to thank you personally for the time that you put in to make it safer for the men that work here and ladies, to make it better for the residents, and to make it better for all of Carroll Stream. You've done an exemplary job. And I'm going to be honest with you, and this has never been said before, when Joe Brynick resigned, one of the people that I looked at, if Bob wouldn't have taken the job, would have been you. Because I know your background in administrative, and I know how you take care of things. What you said today in front of everybody is exactly the way you've been your whole career. It's always about the people. It's always about doing the right thing. And that's very commendable for all those years to keep that pace. And for the Jacobs guys to show up and for your people to be here, that's what it's all about. So thank you from me. Thank you. I know the board all feels the same way as I do. So
100%.
you've done just one heck of a job. Thank you. Okay, now we go. So the next is a proclamation recognizing May 14th to 20th, 2023 as Police Week in Carroll Stream, and Trustee Fruzzoloni will read that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A proclamation recognizing May 14th through the 20th, 2023 as Police Week in Carroll Stream. Whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the calendar week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And whereas established by a joint resolution of Congress in 1962, National Police Week pays special recognition to those law enforcement officers and their families who have lost their lives in the line of duty for the safety and protection of others. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1791, more than 26,300 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty, including 1,166 officers from the state of Illinois. And whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. And whereas 556 new names of fallen heroes have been added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial this spring, including 224 officers killed in 2022 and 332 officers in previous years. And whereas the service and sacrifice of all officers killed in the line of duty were honored during the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund's 35th annual Candlelight Vigil, which was held on the evening of May 13th, 2023. And whereas not in the line of duty death, we continue to mourn and honor Officer Dan Staffy, who served the residents of Carroll Stream with dedication and pride until his passing in February 2023. And whereas Police Week honors the approximate 900,000 law enforcement officers currently serving in communities across the United States, including the 65 dedicated officers of the Carroll Stream Police Department. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor and Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream, on behalf of all elected and appointed officials and residents of Carroll Stream, that May 14th through the 20th, 2023 is formally designated as Police Week in Carroll Stream and publicly salutes the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in communities across the nation. Proclaimed this 15th day of May, 2023.
Thank you, Trustee Maloney. I know that was a tough one to read, and I appreciate it. Thank you for volunteering that. The next is a proclamation designating May 21st to the 27th as National Public Works Week, and that is going to be read by Trustee Geiser.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Proclamation for National Public Works Week. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the Village of Carroll Stream. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are laborers, mechanics, administrative staff, engineers, supervisors, and managers, and who are responsible for maintaining, repairing, rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Carroll Stream to gain knowledge of and to maintain an interest in the importance of public works and the public works programs. And whereas employees of the Carroll Stream Public Works and Engineering Services Departments have worked diligently throughout the years to deliver outstanding services to the residents and businesses of the community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream that the week of May 21 to 27, 2023 be known as National Public Works Week in the Village of Carroll Stream, and all citizens are called upon to recognize the contributions which public works professionals make every day to protect and maintain our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. Dated the 15th of May, 2023.
Thank you, Trustee Geiser.
Thank you.
The next is a proclamation observing May 2023 as Motorcycle Awareness Month, and Trustee Zalick is going to read that one.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Proclamation observing 2023 Motorcycle Awareness Month. Whereas the state of Illinois is proud to be a leader in motorcycle safety and education, as safety is the highest priority for the highways and streets of our village and state. And whereas motorcycles are a common and economical means of transportation that reduces fuel consumption and road wear and contributes in a significant way to the relief of traffic and parking congestion. And whereas it is especially meaningful that the citizens of our village be aware of motorcycles on the roadways and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety. And whereas the members of ABATE of Illinois, Inc., a brotherhood aimed towards education, continually promote motorcycle safety, education, and awareness in high school drivers' education programs and to the general public in our communities, presenting motorcycle awareness programs to over 120,000 participants in Illinois over the past 8 years. And whereas all motorists should join ABATE in actively promoting safe motorcycle operations during the month of May, all roadway users should unite in the safe sharing of roadways within the village of Carroll Stream. Now therefore be proclaimed that Mayor Frank Severino Sr. and the Carroll Stream Board of Trustees, DuPage County, Illinois, in recognition of 36 years of ABATE of Illinois, Inc., and in recognition of the continued role of Illinois serves as a leader in motorcycle safety education and awareness in the exercise of its home rule powers, does hereby proclaim May Motorcycle Awareness Month in the village of Carroll Stream and urge all motorists to join in an effort to improve safety and awareness on our roadways. Proclaim this 15th day of May.
Thank you, Trustee Zalik. Okay, we go into listening post where we address people from the audience. We take their addresses. Do we have anything off of the internet?
We do not have any electronic.
We're still continuing that, right? Okay. So we allow 3 minutes. We usually go over if we have to, which is never a problem. So Richard Hildebrand, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard is the VFW Post Commander of 10396. Commander?
That's me. I'm here to be the post commander tonight to give you a formal invitation or a personal invitation from the post to our Memorial Day service, which is to be held May 29th, 11 o'clock at the Veterans Memorial Plaza in the town center. I've spoken at the fire department. I spoke with the police department. I feel it's only just that I come here and make a personal invitation to the board and the president of the village. So that was my main issue to come here, was to invite you to the event. I know you come on your own mostly, but I think as a protocol, it was the best that I came here and say this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, George.
The next person on is Jen Pauling.
Hi, my name is Jen Pauling. My family and I live at 463 Thunderbird Trail in Carroll Stream. A few weeks ago, we had some sewage backing up in the home, and we called a plumber to have them come out and check. We paid the extra money to get a camera put in, and through this, they found that underneath the village street, the pipe had separated. I reported this to the village thinking there's no way I can't do anything about this, it's under the street, and I was politely told that this is my issue. I'm a homeowner, I'm responsible, and to check the ordinance 2020-06-18 passed on 6/15/2020. Now, since then, I have been contacted by Phil, who is a wonderful man. I found out in the conversation I had with him that this ordinance was not amended then, but it has been an ordinance in Carroll Stream. The ordinance states that a homeowner is responsible to maintain and repair the private sewer line from their structure to the public sewer, including the connection into the main public sewer. This also includes excavating a village road, boring under a village road, digging up under a village road to replace a pipe. Now, this, I am told, is separation clearly, which I have photos for you, under the street where there is a crack. This isn't from overuse of a sewer. It's clearly from some sort of shifting. There's been village construction. There's all kinds of damage to the road right above where this issue is happening. I've contacted insurance companies. They told me if we had sewer line coverage, they wouldn't cover that. It's way too far past our property line. If you look at our plat of survey, it's at least 15 feet past where the right-of-way ends from our home. It is across the street from where we are living. This issue will bankrupt my family, and I'm sure many families in Carroll Stream. Right now, I don't know of anybody that has $20,000, $30,000 to fix this. My neighbors came to support me, and we just want to find out, how is this fair? There have to be other residents in Carroll Stream with this long sewer going under village roads, And I don't think there's many that can afford this. I'm asking that this ordinance either be amended for residents with this issue or fixed. Because off of our public way, I can't control what happens on a village street, but now I'm responsible. I'm just asking that you please look at this ordinance. If there's a way to amend it. I've collected so much information, and if you need it, I'd be happy to share it with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Next is Jim Zay, County Board District 6, and resident.
Good evening, Mayor and trustees. I didn't come as a county board member today. I came as a Carroll Stream resident and support the Pauling family. Jen called me a few weeks ago about this situation, and I told her she had to be wrong because there is no way a resident can be responsible for a sewer line that is not on their own property. That how could you be responsible going on city property to go to your pipe, your 60-year-old pipe in the middle of a street? We're not a rich village. This is a lot of money, people to do this. And I think you have the power, you can take a look at this as trustees and the mayor to repeal or amend this. The residents will do their part on their property. We all know if we've got a tree growing in the sewer line or whatever, it needs to be rotted out, that's our responsibility. But how is it the responsibility of a resident to go into a right-of-way that's on Carroll Stream property to go to your pipe? Now, what happens, I can ask you, what happens if you do that and you have your contractor go out there and they further damage a Carroll Stream pipe? Who's responsible then for that? Is it the resident again? When I talked to Jen, she said nobody from Public Works has been out. I went to the GIS at the county, and they've done aerial photography of that for the last 10 years. And there's no crack in that road. And all of a sudden, there's a crack that appears. Right where that manhole cover is, it runs straight across from her property, right where this crack is. You know, I'm not an engineer, but you put 2 and 2 together, there's a problem on that street. There's a lot of traffic there. She's at a corner. And again, who's responsible for this? You know, again, we're all here. We pay taxes, we pay property taxes, we pay a water and sewer fee, and we expect when something happens that the village is going to step up and help our residents. And we're a great village and we do that. But something like this, I think when staff brings something to you and you see it on paper as a resolution, you say, oh, that sounds good. But when you actually then see what happens and how it affects our residents and what a big effect it would have, who has that kind of money? What if the Paulings say, you know what, we just don't have that money, we're not going to fix it? What happens then? So we're just going to have sewage in that neighborhood just running that's not connecting to the pipe and going that way? What if other residents say that? I don't think that's the right thing. So you heard from Mrs. Pauling and her family. Please take a look at this. This needs to be redone. A lot of villages are different. We're different than every other village. Just because one village doesn't mean another village has to do it. You have to look at that. I mean, the pipe's in the middle of the road. It's over 60 years old. I think you've got your money's worth out of that. And again, what family or business could afford to do that? And then if you do that and you redo the road, and then truck traffic keeps going down there, what responsibility do you have? Now, are you going to change the weight limit there? Are you going to make it 2.5 ton there so larger trucks can't go through that area or buses can't go through that area because these people just spent a lot of money to fix one of your pipes and the connection going there? You don't have any responsibility on that. So the residents are kind of stuck on that. So please take a look at this sewer line. You guys have the power to repeal it or to amend it and to make it work for all the residents of Carroll Stream. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zay. Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by
Second.
trustee Anselmo. Oh, I thought John said that. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Madam Clerk, would you please read what is on the consent agenda?
Certainly. Staff reports and recommendations. Approval of the purchase of rock salt from Compass Minerals in accordance with terms and conditions as established under DuPage County bid number 23-057-DOT and at a cost not to exceed $173,065 pursuant to the provisions of Sections 5-8-3B and 5-8-14L of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Approval of an amendment to an agreement for engineering services with Baxter and Woodman for the pumping station generator replacements project in the amount of $8,000.
Yes.
Award of a contract to Alexis RAOs for GIS services in an amount not to exceed $40,000 pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 5, Article 8, Section 5-8-14F of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by decreasing the number of Class P liquor licenses from 6 to 5. The Pride Stores, Inc., doing business as the Pride of Carroll Stream, 260 Schmiel Road, and increasing the number of Class PL liquor licenses from 2 to 3. The Pride Stores, Inc., doing business as the Pride of Carroll Stream, 260 Schmiel Road.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2023-05-25. Ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class V licenses from 20 to 21. Bella's Pizza LLC, doing business as Bella's Pizza, 1045 Fountain View Drive.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2023-05-26. Ordinance granting a second six-month extension for execution of ordinance 2022-10-44, which granted approval of an amendment to a special use permit for a planned development in a rear yard building setback variation, Tyndale House Ministries, 504 South Schmale Road.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2023-05-27. Resolutions. Resolution authorizing the location, construction, operation, and maintenance of village infrastructure within the jurisdiction of the Department of Transportation of the State of Illinois.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3308. Resolution declaring as surplus property owned by the Village of Carroll Stream, vehicle number 610, 2009 Lexus ES350, and Squad 674, 2017 Dodge Charger, to be sold by the Police Department.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3309. New business, recommendation to appoint Chuck Danko to the Police Pension Fund Board with a term expiring April 30th, 2025.
Yes.
Sound amplification permit, National Night Out. Approval of a sound amplification permit and waiver of the fee for the Carroll Stream Police Department's National Night Out to be held at the Ross Ferraro Town Center on August 1st, 2023, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yes.
Payment of bills. Regular bills, May 2nd, 2023 through May 15th, 2023.
Yes.
Addendum warrants, May 2nd, 2023 through May 15th, 2023.
Yes.
Treasurer's report. Revenue expenditure statements and balance sheet for the month ended April 30th, 2023.
Received.
That concludes the items on the consent agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Fruzzoloni, seconded by trustee Zalick. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve those items by unanimous vote?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Gieser, seconded by trustee Anselmo. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Well, I just have to swear in Mr. Danko. Up to the podium, please. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Chuck Danko,
Do solemnly swear that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America.
I, Chuck Danko, do solemnly swear that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Carroll Stream,
the ordinances of the Village of Carroll Stream,
and that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my ability
and that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my ability
the duties of trustee on the Police Pension Fund Board.
the duties of trustee of the Police Pension Fund Board.
Dated at Carroll Stream, Illinois, this 15th day of May, 2023. Thank you very much for taking this job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I got a trigger finger.
My opportunity to serve the village.
There you go. See that?
Well, thank
One
you.
goes and one comes.
Thank you.
Chuck, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Chuck actually replaced Jim Brewer, who has been under the weather and has not been able to attend some of the meetings, and had asked if he could come off. And Chuck was nice enough, he's retired and he's understands numbers in the Police Pension Board. We need good numbers people. So thank you, Chuck, for taking the time and being part of the community. Okay. Report of officers, huh? Okay. The new guy. I'm having a hard time picking your voice up. It's different after listening to somebody for 2 years and all at once it's like,
I'll change it.
no, don't change it. Maybe sing a song.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to begin by congratulating Phil on your retirement, first off. From attending the previous meetings over almost the last 2 years and experiencing your leadership and your expertise in public works, I've been nothing but impressed by your attention and detail to your performance and your passion for what you do. I am sad, as I mentioned to you, that I won't get to continue working with you during my tenure, but the village will miss you. Congratulations on your 36 years, and enjoy your retirement and your fishing. I do also want to acknowledge and commend our outstanding police department during Police Week. We have one of the best police departments in the area, in the nation. As we observe Motorcycle Awareness Month, I want to also encourage residents to please use caution on the roads we share with motorcyclists. Happy day after Mother's Day to all our staff and our Carroll Stream community, my mother and my wife. Happy birthday, Mr. Mayor Savarino. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Anselmo. Trustee Berger.
I'm still getting used to not being first. I know I'm going to talk over you one of these times, so, you know, when I do, just let me keep talking so I don't feel dumb. For those who came to speak tonight about the sewer lines, I appreciate you coming out and talking to us, and those who were here to support you. Phil, I told you in an official village email that I was against your retirement, but
Second.
But I know we go back, you know, months. But I've appreciated you from day one, and then I learned to appreciate you backdating that way back. When I first started on the board 2 years ago, you were kind enough to arrange a tour for me, and have been great about answering questions, and I absolutely love all the innovation that's been coming out of Public Works. I think it's outstanding. My family looks at me a little weird when I'm talking to them about it, but, you know, that's not the only time they've looked at me weird. Police Week, Chief, same thing. I know we're always praising you guys and bragging, but it's all true. So thank you to your entire staff, and obviously those who are no longer with us. And I would also like to say that I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day. It was also my oldest daughter, Tyler's, birthday. Yeah, we named our daughter with a boy's name, thinking she'd play sports, and we got it all wrong. She's a music teacher. But, so I want to wish her a belated birthday, happy birthday, even though we were there with her up in Milwaukee. And happy Mother's Day to everybody. And perhaps most importantly, happy birthday to our mayor. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Berger. Trustee Zalick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations, Phil, on a well-deserved retirement. You definitely have made this organization better than when you got here. I mean, top-notch. We appreciate everything you've done. So congratulations and well-deserved, and happy fishing. With Police Week and Public Works Week, I encourage everybody to thank a police officer or thank a Public Works member in the community when you see them, either when they're getting coffee or wherever. Just thank them for their service. And it's a shame that you have to do it only in 1 month. I think it should be all the time. Recognize the police and recognize Public Works, because they are first responders. They do a dangerous job, and the ones in Carroll Stream, I know for a fact, do it well. So thank you, Chief, and thank you, Phil, for that. And happy birthday, Mr. Mayor, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Zalick. Trustee Geezer.
Thank you very much. I too would like to commend Phil Modaf. It'll be sad to see you leave. You've always provided timely and succinct information for me to understand, so thank you for that. And for everything, everything you presented was basically what I read in the, so thank you very much for everything you've done and provided for the residents of Carroll Stream. And speaking of Public Works, everyone, as Trustee Zalick just said, please think about the police officers and the Public Works employees on their various weeks this month and throughout the year, because they are first responders and they are doing things, as Mr. Modaf said, that we can't do ourselves. So thank you very much. Would like to thank the commander of the VFW for coming to the meeting today. Thank you very much for the invitation for the Memorial Day service. It's always a very powerful and important service for us to attend. I'd also like to thank the commander for presenting me with a donation for the parade. So thank you, and thank the members of the VFW for that donation. It'll go to good use. Speaking of the parade, there will be a fundraiser coming up. Mark it on your calendar. It's a few weeks away, June 3rd at Red Apple Pancake House, all day. No flyers, just show up. We'll get 10% of the receipts to help put on the parade. So thank you very much for that. And congrats to all the graduates out there, you know, from middle schools and junior highs and high schools and colleges and advanced degrees. Congratulations to each and every one of you. And we wish you luck in the future, and a big happy birthday to the mayor. Have a good day.
Thank you, Trustee.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Trustee Frizzaloni.
I'm going to start by saying happy birthday to you.
Thank
So happy birthday. I know you had a great day today. I won't steal any of your thunder, but I hope that the rest of your evening is spent with your family, enjoying your time.
Thank you.
So happy birthday. Phil, you almost got me. I started tearing up. I couldn't look at you when you were finishing your speech, because what was sticking in my head was not only all the great accomplishments that we've talked about, but how you've empowered your staff to think outside the box, and some of the craziest ideas that people would have said were insane. Let's spray beet juice on the ground and see what happens. It's that innovation that you're always pushing your staff to do well and to do better. And no idea is a bad idea, and that is why our Public Works Department is one of the best in the nation and most respected in the industry. I've met other towns, and they've said Carroll Stream is a leader, and a good leader stands back and lets their staff lead, and that's what you have done, and I think that that's really important. Also one of the most important things that I think that designation that you brought to your staff was when Public Works employees were finally recognized as first responders. That was a very important thing. The orange stripe on a flag now means that they are designated as first responders, even though we've always viewed them as that. Now they have that designation, and I think that really lends to people understanding that it is a dangerous job they do. I've been out with the crews. I check on them when they're doing water main breaks. I've done the snowplow ride-alongs. It's another job that I could not do. In all weather conditions, going on almost no sleep at all. I just want to say thank you. I know that I came to you a couple of years ago and with a concern with, you know, when we have these long duration storms, what can we do to help our staff, because they're relying a lot on the energy drinks and an infusion of synthetic caffeines, and what can we do? And you took that and you've been talking about it, and we started talking about a wellness program for our employees, and you went to, you know, medical professionals, you've talked to industry leaders, and I hope that that conversation continues past your retirement, because I think that is really important, especially in the winter months when we have staff that could be working 16, 18 hours, because we got to keep roads open for the other first responders that need to be able to assist our residents. So I just want to say thank you. I've learned a lot from you, and I'm going to miss you, and I am sure that every day that it gets closer to your retirement, your wife's to-do list gets a little bit longer for you. So congratulations and thank you. I also want to say that it was a pleasure and an honor to read the proclamation for Police Week. I think anyone who knows me knows how much I support the Carroll Stream Police Department and law enforcement in general. I've had some really interesting conversations with family members about school safety recently. I was talking to the chief about that today. 10 days ago or so, I participated in active shooter training over with the Carroll Stream Police Department, Wheaton Police Department, and Glen Ellen Police Department at St. Charles Mall, which is invaluable. These are police departments that when it hits the fan, they back each other up. So we know Wheaton's going to come in and back us up. We know Glen Ellen's going to back us up, but how do they work together? And I think that collaboration of getting 3 departments together for 2 full days of training, it was great to watch. I mean, I already knew what our policies were, but it was nice to see how, without really knowing each other, other than maybe a couple people knew each other's names, when it was time to go into scenarios, it didn't matter which stripe and which batch was on their shirt sleeve. Everybody worked really well together. They communicated very well together. And as a resident, as a parent, that makes me feel great knowing that if something happens, we have not only the best police department, but we've got really great police departments backing us up and helping us. So I wish that more communities could say that they had collaborations like that, and I look forward to more collaborations between departments. The great thing over the years it's been to watch is the police, public works, and the fire department training together. I mean, to us, that seems natural and normal, but it has not been like that, even from the time I've been sitting on this board. I mean, we've made those giant steps forward in public safety, and how do we train together, and how do we communicate to each other during, times of disaster or need. So kudos to our first responders and the partners. So I just want to say thank you, Chief. It was great. It was great to see command staff out supporting everyone. What was also, for me, really a source of pride was how many of our officers were the training officers. So they were the ones who put together the scenarios. They were the ones that were training other officers. And I would say probably half were our guys and girls, women. That speaks to the level of training that we provide, that half of that team of trainers was Carroll Stream, or more, honestly. I lost count. So I just want to say congratulations on that. It was a great exercise. I know there's another training coming up next week. So I just want to say thank you for that. Motorcycle awareness. While we read this proclamation and we try and talk to residents about this, unfortunately, we've had a couple of fatalities in other towns recently because people just are not looking for motorcycles. So please, talk to your landscapers, talk to your neighbors, and please do not blow your grass into the streets. Nobody thinks that that's really a big deal, but it's a huge big deal to a motorcyclist, because we don't want to have a fatality in our town. So please be responsible when you're doing your landscaping, that it shouldn't be going into the street, because that creates such a risk for people who are on motorcycles. So I just wanted to cover that, and again, happy birthday. And thank you for what you do for this town. And with that, I will end my report.
Thank you, Trustee Frizzalone, and thank you for what you do. So, well, Trustee McCarthy.
Well, again, first off, happy birthday. Happy birthday to my friend, who happens to be mayor.
Thank you.
Chuck, thank you. Thank you for donating your time for a very good cause and your talents. It's much appreciated. Jen and the people who came during listening post, don't read our silence as ignoring. We can't comment during listening post if it's not on the agenda, and we don't want somebody to come and slap our hands. So that's why there was no comments up here. It's all about Illinois law and how you have to follow a meeting structure. So we listened. Both Public Works and Police being Public Works Week and Police Week, as everybody said, first responders. You guys do a great job from making sure the streets are clear and safe for the police to come through and have to save somebody from an accident or go on a call. Making sure, again, our water's clean and the dirty water gets cleaned and leaves. You guys are class act, all of you. You're here for I would say almost every single person in both those departments, their first thought when they're working is what's in the best interest of the residents and the village of Carroll Stream, and that's rare. So it's much appreciated, and thank you for everything that both departments do. Phil, I hate seeing you leave. I really do. I love the way you can take a little technical information and spin it to something that's easy for everybody to understand. I know I've had residents say, you know what, he explained this or that. Okay, that makes sense. I get it. As opposed to having so much information thrown at you that you have no idea what the answer is. Thank you for taking a group of great employees and turning them into even a much better public works department under you. Your partnerships, as you speak of with Jacobs, partnerships even with the landscaping companies and the snowplow companies. You guys work to make sure things are done together as opposed to just standing up and pointing down and saying, do this. That's leadership. Leadership is about trusting the people you have put in place to make the right decision and cheering them on as opposed to just dictating to them. So I appreciate that and I get it. So I thank you. I hate to see you leave. Where are you going to be fishing at? Anywhere in particular?
Why do you want to know?
I'm not saying.
Where my feet are firmly on land.
There you go. Thank you. And congratulations on a well-earned retirement. And that's the end of my report.
Brianna?
Thank you, Mayor. I would also like to congratulate Phil on his retirement. I know that we haven't worked together for very long, but I can tell that you have such a passion for public service, and just seeing the impact you've made on this organization is really inspirational. So I wish you the best, even though I'll still be seeing you around for the next 2 weeks. I just wanted to make it official. And we have a lot of exciting events coming up this summer. I know that everyone has talked about National Police Week, and actually this Friday, May 19th, our police department is participating in the 20th annual Cop on a Rooftop event. This is a special fundraising event for the Special Olympics of Illinois. We will have members of our police department at all 3 of our Dunkin' Donuts locations in Carroll Stream supporting a great cause. So again, that is Friday, May 19th from 5 a.m. to noon. And if you'd prefer to donate online, there is a link available at the Special Olympics website, specialolympics.org. So don't forget to check that out. And shifting gears to our concert series, so far we've received $30,100 in sponsorship funding to support our concert series. And thanks to the generosity of our sponsors, the concert series is made possible without the use of taxpayer dollars, which is great. And our first concert is just 1 month out today. So on Thursday, June 15th, we will have the band Spoken For at our town center to kick off our concert series, and that'll be from 7 to 9 p.m. And that same week, on Saturday, June 17th, we have our Geek Fest and the Taste of Carroll Stream. So it is going to be one combined event this year. It'll be from 11:30 to 4, so a little bit longer than last year's. We have 10 food vendors confirmed so far, and there will be inflatables, arcade games, board games, a costume contest. I can guarantee that there's going to be fun for the whole family and something for everyone to enjoy. So don't forget to save that date, June 17th. And all of our summer events have been posted on our Facebook page, so don't forget to check that out. And if you're interested in attending, don't forget to RSVP on Facebook to receive all our updates. And I would also like to wish the mayor a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Clerk Swarzy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too would like to wish you a happy birthday. Thank you for segueing into that. And also wanted to thank you for your hard work with all the events coming up this summer. I know it's a lot, especially your first time around, so it sounds like you have a good team of people helping you out, which is good. And if there's anything we can do, let us know. And I just wanted to congratulate also Director Modaf on his retirement. Best wishes. We're really going to miss you. And I'm just very glad that we have a great successor to fill your shoes. So welcome, Director Brad Fink. Looking forward to working with you. And also wanted to thank Chuck Danko for stepping up to serve on the Police Pension Fund Board. It's really great that you are taking the time to do that. We appreciate it. And like everyone else is saying, I'm really glad we have proclamations for Police Week and Public Works. It's really important that we recognize our first responders and the danger they put themselves in every day to keep us safe. So really glad we have those proclamations. Also wanted to give an update on the village's pond and stream sweep. It's this weekend, it's Saturday, and Adam Fredericks, the assistant village engineer, gave me an update to read on this for the village. So we've got, current registration is at 207 adults have volunteered to help, 43 children, a total of 250 participants. And some of the groups that are volunteering to clean up our ponds and streams in Carroll Stream this weekend include Boy Scout Pack 191, Cub Scout Pack 196, Cub Scout Pack 12, NTA Precision Axle, AJ Antunes, FIC America, Flood Brothers, Expert Restoration Solutions, the Pond Squad, which is my little team with Trustee Anselmo, Trustee Geezer, Trustee Berger, Bill Failing back there, the Pronies, a number of people are helping us with the Pond Squad, and then finally the Rotary Club of Carroll Stream. So we've got a lot of different volunteer groups, which is really awesome. If anybody is still interested in helping out, you can contact the Engineering Services Department, and they will get you on one of these teams. So we've got 12 people on our team, and we're cleaning up Town Center Basin, which is just in time for Geek Fest, Taste of Carroll Stream, and the summer concert. So really looking forward to that. And I wanted to check with Village Manager Meller, is that fountain going to be working for our Memorial Day service?
It is scheduled to be open, yes.
Okay, wonderful. I think that'd be wonderful to have that working for that Memorial Day service. So hopefully everyone can attend that. And another event coming up that I wanted to mention, since we won't be meeting again till after it, is a electronics recycling and shredding event at Wayne Township on North Avenue. It's taking place Saturday, June 3rd from 9 to 11 a.m. So basically a lot of the stuff that we do in our November recycling event, they're gonna have that available. It's free for everybody, so spread the word. Again, that's Saturday, June 3rd from 9 to 11 a.m. And I do have details on it if anybody's interested. There are some charges for things like TVs and microwaves, but most of the stuff is free to drop off. And other than that, I just wanted to remind everyone to please shop and dine in Carol Stream.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed playing golf with your husband.
Oh, good.
The Rotary outing.
He had a wonderful time.
We all did.
Yeah.
Mr. Rhodes, our village attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One thing I did want to bring to everybody's attention is that the end of this week is the end of the legislative session in Springfield. And with all of the wonderful legislation that they've passed this year, unfortunately, they still haven't passed the local distributive share for municipalities in this state. And I think it's really sad when we know that a number of years ago, the state of Illinois decided that they needed money more than municipalities did, and they took away a portion of the municipalities' distribution of taxes, and have decided that they're not going to give it back. And each year, municipalities and the COGS, the Illinois Municipal League, lobbies to try to get a little more back so that municipalities have those funds to be able to provide the services to their residents, and that still hasn't happened. So it's unfortunate. There's still a couple of days left. We'll see whether or not that happens, but at this point, it doesn't really look like it's has a lot of power behind it right now, even though there was a huge push. I know Carol Stream went out to attempt to lobby its legislators, and we'll see what happens. But I did want to let you know about that. Also, Phil, my best wishes to you in your retirement, and I want to let you know that I have really appreciated your knowledge of public works and the professionalism that you've exhibited when you've handled that position. And it's truly been a privilege for me to have worked with you. And so I truly appreciate your service, and I do wish you well. And finally, Mr. Mayor, a very happy birthday to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a good rest of your birthday.
Mr. Miller, our village manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're still 2 weeks away, but just a reminder that on May 29th, we will be closed in observance of Memorial Day holiday. Police department obviously will remain open. Towards the end of March, I think it was, Phil asked to meet with me in my office, and I kind of knew what he was coming over to talk to me about, since we had kind of briefly discussed his retirement on and off. So he submitted his resignation and retirement letter to me, and I thought, boy, it's going to be tough to fill. You know, I think what most people don't understand is the stress that goes along with positions such as the one that Phil occupied for the last 13 years in Carol Stream, and 36 years in his career as an administrator and a public works director. So when Phil came here, I thought, boy, that's nice. We have another administrator, a professional administrator that came through the ranks and was educated at Northern Illinois University. We had another resource at our disposal. And Phil has always been very level-headed, very well-educated, and very well-spoken. And I'm going to miss that, and I know the rest of our department heads are going to miss that professionalism that Phil brought to the office and projected to the residents of Carol Stream. So, Phil, you certainly deserve it, and I envy you. So enjoy yourself, and I'm glad to have met your family, and you have a very lovely family. I mean, they're all in the same mold as you, so thank you. That's all I have.
That's it.
Yes.
I forgot one important thing.
Right ahead.
Found out a few days ago that a volunteer in town, and he was amazing with the kids. He was at every school event. He was a police volunteer, and he worked hard just to help. Lost a battle with cancer. Nick Porter. Nick retired to Florida about 2 years ago, and even when we do like the kids' bags tournament, he still paid for treat bags for every kid who walks in the door. He'd call up Tammy and get it set up. But Tim and his Nick and his family, wonderful people, and just rest in peace, Nick.
He was a longtime volunteer at Carroll Stream School as well, so Mr. Nick, as the kids know him. So some people saw Mr. Nick and didn't put it together that it was Nick Porter. Same person, darling man, dear friend. Thank you. Matt, it was on the back of my brain, so thank you.
Sorry.
No, sorry, are you kidding me? Thank you. Mrs. Modaff, thank you for letting us have your husband, and thank you for letting him be. It's not easy. Our jobs are not full-time like his job is full-time. There was many times I called him on the weekend or a Saturday or Sunday, and he always took my call. I'd leave a message. If he didn't answer, he'd call me back right away. And if it was a problem that I thought was a problem, he found a way to take care of that problem to make that resident happy. Trustee Geezer made a comment earlier, and I couldn't agree more. It isn't Police Week. It's not Public Works Week. We do this every week, all 52 weeks a year. It's our job to make sure that the police department and Public Works has the right equipment to work with. It's our job to figure out how to balance this budget out with our entire staff. When you need equipment, I look at the 2 new pieces of equipment that just come in. They're magnificent. When there's a problem, you have the equipment to take care of them and to keep your people safe. Unbelievable the way you've run that. I am really, we've lost a lot of people since I've been here at 16 years. I'm going to miss you the most. What you've done at Public Works is unbelievable, and now we're going through the same thing in this building with the guy sitting behind you, Chief Homer, taking the tour through what you've done downstairs after it was built out, 5 years ago, 6 years ago? The changes that were made for safety for your people and for the privacy and for the people that you might arrest, believe it or not, have to be treated the right way. Thank you for what you've done down there. Taking the tour through, I would not even know I was in the same place. So thank you. So we got 2 excellent people. Thank God the one behind you is not going anyplace. But thank you, Phil. Thank you very much for all that you've done. You've made Carroll Stream a much better place, and you made it a lot safer for all the people that work for you at Public Works. Today was a very strange day for me because today is my birthday. Thank you all for acknowledging that. At the Citizen of the Year, where we had the big Citizen of the Year program, somebody asked me if I would put lunch with the mayor up as a prize for somebody to win. I said, I don't know if that's such a good idea. I don't mind having lunch with anybody, and I'll be glad to pay for the lunch. I said, but who wants to just have lunch with the mayor? How about a complete tour of the whole building? Well, Bob Matchett, is that right, Bob? Mott. Bob Mott. Bob Mott kept buying tickets because it was so important for him. And he's a police volunteer. He's involved in everything, but he was so excited, he kept buying tickets. I started buying tickets so he wouldn't win. We raised a lot of money that night, which was a good thing, and he won, and today was the day. He picked my birthday of all days, right? Today was the day that I would play. My wife says, where are you going? I said, we got a board meeting, but I got a lunch with Bob at the same time. Well, he brought his wife, his live-in girlfriend, which is like his wife, takes great care of her. His mom and dad, a neighbor, he brought the whole entourage with him. I want to thank the police department because they really enjoyed taking the tour through the entire police department, letting us have two of your people to actually go through and take pictures with them here. It was amazing because after they got done, they had a whole different opinion of what we do here, especially the residents that live in the area that he brought with. One says, I want to get involved more because they didn't understand. And a lot of people don't understand what you do. I look at us as being a service company. We service, that's what we do. This is no different than any other service company. We have to take care of and service the people and the businesses that are in this community, and that's what we're good at. That's why we win so many awards. That's why Public Works wins so many awards. The police department has got so many awards, it's almost unbelievable how many awards that they've got. They're not just given out by anybody. When you get an award from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, you have to earn those awards. All these organizations that keep giving them awards and what they do, it's hard to get that because you have to train twice as hard. You know, they mentioned Staffy, one of our police officers that passed away. As a drug recognition expert at DRE, he was training state police in this building because that's how good he was. And we had sheriff's department guys here, police departments from all over. Our police department had 6 or 7 DRE experts when there might not have been that many in the entire state of Illinois. And they trained and trained and trained and helped other towns. Still to today, they do that. And I want to appreciate the police department. It's not Police Week for me either, as Trustee Geezer said. It's every week. We'll find a way to give you the equipment you need, if the body cams, the trucks to run Public Works or whatever it has to be. It's our job to make sure that we get that done. So thank you all for the jobs that you do, and thank you to this board for the dedication that they put in and the entire staff here in Carroll Stream. We couldn't get this done if we weren't one team, Carroll Stream. And I mean that when I say that, and I saw that during the bags tournament. It was just everybody coming together, residents coming together, other businesses that compete with the business that was holding the bags tournament were actually there to support everything, and it became one. And that is just something you don't see in many towns. You know, and I have people ask me, some of the other mayors, did you really raise that? Not me. No. The team did that. The team did the raising. The businesses jumped in, just like we just heard tonight. The entire concert series is paid by donated money. We would not, you know, I mean, I could go back to when I first took over, we'd spend $200,000, $300,000 on entertainment and have big bands come in, and people from other towns would come, and we spent the money. It's our money from this village, and we would spend the money and they would come. I'm a vehicle sticker guy. We don't have it anymore. But I would walk the parking lot to see where these people came from, because I don't even recognize any of them. So I know they ain't from here. I've been here 47 years, so it's like, not that I know all 40,000 people, but those of us that have been here for a long time, we meet and talk to a lot of people. Most of them there, I didn't even recognize who they were. So we got these big bands coming. We're spending all the money. We're killing our staff at the same time. I mean, really, I know, Bob, you're laughing, but I mean, you know how many hours you just had to put in when we did those 3-day, 4-day concerts and the big deals like that. It just was too much money to spend. So we looked at another way to do it, and that's what we come up with. That's what the group came up with, is to have it funded by people that want to just put money in. This whole board put money in for one night, which is commendable. I mean, but that's what we do. I mean, that's why this town is different than most towns. And I want to just say thank you to the residents, and thank you to the board, and especially the board that sits up here. We are all self-thinkers, but we manage to get the job done. When it comes time, push comes to shove, it always comes that we get it done, which is terrific to have. For me to be sitting here as mayor again for 4 more years, I'm honored to have this group with me, all of them, which is phenomenal. Commander, thank you for the invitation. You know, most of them will be there. We appreciate the a special invitation for you to come. And I know trustee Geezer appreciates the money that you give for the parade, and whatever we have to do. Chuck Danko, thank you. Chuck, I'm sorry you had to sit through this whole thing. You've never sat in a board meeting before, so, but thank you. I've known Chuck for a long time. Chuck actually ran the business in Carroll Stream, or was part of the business that was next door to me on Randy Road for a lot of years. He's got a great background. He'll be a great addition to our police pension board. So again, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. With that, I guess I'm going to go home and eat the birthday cake that we never had yesterday. So, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Fruzzaloni. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Anselmo.
Aye.
Trustee Berger.
Aye.
Trustee Zalik.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.